the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
How good is that? Magnificent Sam Neill, welcome!
Welcome, buddy!
Oh, you're so kind. I always like being back here, but there's something about me being here that breaks down the coffee machine. It was the same thing last time. You couldn't get a coffee here, and it shorts out the building or something.
Oh, my God. Could somebody organise a coffee for Sam Neill? There's nothing else we can offer here at
mine?
night.
Whipper makes me my coffee. I get a little thimble of coffee for the morning.
That's the world's tiniest coffee.
You can have that, Sam Neill.
The greatest caravan or slash green room that you've had, was it Jurassic Park? Who looks after you the most? Is it the bigger the movie, the better you get?
Oh, yeah, pretty much. But having said that, the best food on films is in Australia.
Is it?
Is it really?
Yeah,
Our
without
catering.
question.
Catering.
Australians really cater well. And if I'm well catered for, everything else is fades away.
Do you mean just with food? Just food? Well catered just in the food department?
Yeah, what other departments are we talking about?
What's really on your rider, Sam Neill?
Well, maybe it's just the way you sound, Mr. Neil. You're like, as long as I'm well catered for, I'll turn up. I'm like, well, how many boxes do we need to tick here?
Well, I like the idea, Sam Neill, that you'd be able to say, with your presence in the industry, you'd be able to say on a Friday, make sure as part of the catering, we have a wine called 2 Paddocks, please.
Yeah,
and the cast and the crew can enjoy a nice red wine on the day.
Yeah, but then again, you're working with people like Brian Brown. I'm here for Brian Brown, who
sorry to hear.
If he's in the car, so it'd be just wasted on him.
He doesn't get it, does he?
No, he doesn't get
He's
it.
a teetotaler.
He's a goon bag man.
Does he love his goon? This is interesting. Now, you are here for Sydney Writers Festival, and he interviewed you last year for your memoir, but this year you've flipped the table and you're interviewing him. So he's got a new book out, The Drowning, which is a gripping new crime novel. You've obviously read it, Sam.
I have read it. It's surprisingly fantastically good.
What?
And
have you said something nice about Brian Brown?
This doesn't make sense.
He didn't
But don't
write
tell
it
him I
then.
said so. I will be interviewing him. I'll be eviscerating him. I'll be filleting Brian Brown on stage. That's on Saturday. I can't wait.
How long are you up there for? Is it like an hour?
It's an hour.
Have you been given a slot?
There's something called the Recital Hall. You've been there? Brainy people go there. They have classical music and stuff like that.
Well, that's why
I've been there.
Right. That makes sense. Hey,
Actually,
Oh my goodness!
can we bring this up? We just brought up a suggestion before. Can we maybe present it to Sam now? But we were just saying before, because another great video over the weekend, you on the ukulele singing, and we have a red room here at Nova where we get artists to perform, and we were just brainstorming having a Nova red room with Sam Neill, calling it Between 2 Paddocks, and you just get on the ukulele for half an hour with some Nova fans watching you.
It's not a bad idea.
That's my worst nightmare.
Do we have a bit of the ukulele, Jess, in the system?
Without my career,
Sam,
don't mean
can you not hang your head? Because the sound is quite beautiful. And I said to Tommy, imagine if we had a solid album with 12 tracks. That's a perfect Sunday listening album. I'd be all over that.
Well, it puts me to sleep. Imagine what it would do to the public.
Well, that's good.
But I started singing on social media during
COVID.
and I'm over 16, by the way.
Yes,
you
are.
I know your campaign.
Thank you. You are over 16.
And during lockdown and all that, because it seemed to make people laugh.
I loved it.
I was singing seriously, but people just on the floor in stitches.
It's annoying, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I think there's a real future in the ukulele. I think that'd be perfect. What I love about some of the articles and in your book you mentioned, and you use this phrase, and I've said it to my mum, because she's the same age as you, and she says, you say, don't let the old man in. And I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
And I tell myself that all the time. It doesn't really work.
It doesn't work, no.
Well, you're still working and everything's ticking well.
Yeah. I had a very busy year last year, and This year, I thought I'd actually cut back a bit. I'm going to work again. We're doing the third series of something called The 12 in October in West Australia.
Fantastic.
But I think I'll take the rest of the year off before that.
Yeah.
For a change.
Well, just to slow down a bit more.
Slow down a bit, yeah. I mean, I'm knocking on a bit now.
No, you're not, mate.
No,
I
you're
won't
not,
accept
mate.
that.
And you've got your own winery as well. It's all happening.
You've got a
a great Australian movie coming out soon as well. It's, my wife and I have just got into Peaky Blinders as well. Chester Campbell, oh my God, you're an absolute prick in that's for sure.
Yeah, he's an unredeemable character, isn't he?
Can I ask, because we haven't gone, we're on to our third series, but are you in the new movie, or is he, I'm probably giving away something here, but is he still around or no?
No, I think he's well dead. And
Okay.
I saw Killian the other day. He came to stay down on the farm.
What an actor.
Oh,
What an
wow.
actor.
He didn't bring his Oscar with him. So I thought,
Does he travel with it?
he doesn't trust me. I might have just kept it.
Steal it.
Use
Where
it as
do
a
you-
doorstop.
Where do you rate him when it comes to acting chops? Where's Cillian Murphy for you? Because he is a special actor.
He's as good as it gets. Yeah, he's fantastic. And he works terribly hard. He's a really, really hard worker. And I can say this because I'm Irish, basically. He's the hardest working Irishman I ever came across in my life.
He beats you then.
Can I ask you a quick question about having him come to stay then? When he comes to stay at your house, not in a creepy way, but like, do you put your pajamas on before you go to bed? Like you in the lounge room having a glass of wine, your wine, in your jammies? Or do you, like grown men, have a glass of wine and then go off to your room and put your jammies on?
That's a very, very intelligent question, and I congratulate you on that. But here's the thing.
I think this stuff
flirting, you're flirting
No,
again.
I'm not flirting. What I'm saying is I like that when you said he came to
I
stay.
was flirting.
Oh,
Yeah, you're fine.
I haven't. No one's flirted with me for a very long time, so
She's
I
rattled.
don't know how to pick up the cues.
No, here's the thing. I built myself a house. Now, I am an old bachelor now. That's why I'm suitable for your slow dancing ball. I built myself... it's what they used to call single man's quarters.
Yep.
I built a house with one bedroom.
Yeah.
And it's got one little cupboard where I put my clothes, and that's it.
Wow.
So Cillian... But I've got sort of... I've got some accommodation across the driveway.
Yeah.
So Cillian stayed in the other single man's quarters at the end of the driveway.
Oh, so you didn't see his
There's no
pyjamas.
pyjama thing.
But you wanted to know what his pajamas were.
No, not what his pajamas are,
Interesting
but
question.
the etiquette around.
Yeah, sure.
Do you go and have a shower and put your jammies on and have a glass of wine in front of the fire?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
do you do grown-up things and then go to your separate
Sam, what
quarters?
Kate's trying to say
absolutely
is,
separate,
would
yeah.
you mind if she came to stay? Is
No,
what she's
what I'm saying is, and do you know what I'm doing in my head right now? All I'm thinking is, you had an opportunity to ask Sam about Cillian, and
Yeah.
he's a really highly educated man. And
What sort of pyjamas he wears?
Yeah.
And I don't have an answer for that.
okay.
Does he wear pyjamas at all? I can't tell you.
well, let's hope not.
What happens on the farm stays on the farm.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Sydney Writers Festival is on. So it's this weekend you'll be interviewing Brian for his book, The Drowning?
Yeah, on May the 21st, I think that's Saturday. I think
Okay.
at 5:30.
25th.
I will be
25th.
filleting Brian.
Yep.
Fillet him.
You'll be filleting Brian Brown. It's the magnificent Sam Neill. Thank you so much for coming in, sir. We love having you in.
It's lovely to see you guys.
Thanks, Sam.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
First kisses are disaster stories. 13, 24, 10 get involved. Do you know what the big one was in our era? Was Spin the Bottle was a big one for first kisses, which was always hard because you had an audience and you didn't.
Never did it.
Well, it kicks the fun out of it, really, doesn't it?
It
It's
does.
all-
Kate.
maybe it was the first version. We didn't have reality TV, so it was a bit more of that voyeurism. It was like, spin the bottle. Who are we going to watch do
What did they
something
do to
for
you?
the first time?
Fitz, were you embarrassed or you?
No. Well, that was in high school. My second kiss was Spin the Bottle. First kiss was Kate Ridley at the Year 7 graduation. But they put up two barriers, and everyone who had a boyfriend, girlfriend, had to go in there, and everyone counted how long you could kiss for, Kate. And I reckon, I remember Stephen Atkinson got like a minute 15. I'm going, what? First of all, how much saliva do you have?
That's a
And
long time.
I know. Well, I only got to about 25 seconds and that was it. I was done.
a lot
and
of
it was
tongue.
really disappointing. Everyone was, mate, you've just blown your chance. Kate Ridley will never be coming back.
Yeah.
We went to different high schools and it was done and dusted. Second was spin the bottle.
Yeah. Tommy hates me telling this story, but I'm going to go for it. I was at the pub one time.
This is graphic, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. I was at the pub and everyone was having a great time, and there was a guy and a girl there, and they hadn't met before, but they were getting on really well, and they'd had a few drinks. It was sort of towards the end of the night, because I remember maybe the barman had even called last drinks, and someone said, let's have a shot. So we went to the bar. Anyway, so we had a shot of tequila, I think, because it was lemon and salt, and and they were flirting because I think he licked the lemon off her hand, the salt off her hand, and then he went in for the kiss. The kiss lasted probably 1 second before she vomited in his mouth.
Was that first kiss?
Yep, first kiss, and they then pulled apart, and the vomit then went down the front of the two of them.
Oh, did it hit her stomach and come straight back up or something?
And then I was the only one that saw the two of them. As he looked at me, realised I'd witnessed it, and they went off to the bathroom to get cleaned up, and he just looked at me and said, don't tell anyone.
Karen in DY, you had a first kiss fail?
Oh, absolutely. It was my 12th birthday, and we were playing Spin the Bottle.
Yep.
And my youngest sister, who was only 2 at the time, picked the bottle up, an old Coke bottle, glass, and hit my boyfriend over the head with it.
Did she crack him open?
It knocked him out.
Oh, wow.
And then you kissed him, which was a bit weird, Karen.
He doesn't remember it.
Yeah, that was very weird.
I can't believe you taught him to do that.
That is so good. She's like, stay away from my sister. Tyler in New South Wales, your first kiss. Disaster?
It was pretty bad. It was, it wasn't too bad. It was a fun experience, but it freaked me out. So it was my Year 12 after party. I was on the dance floor and I was a bit drunk, Year 12 after party things. A girl came up and just grabbed me by the face, started kissing me, and it freaked me out. And then a couple of minutes later, another girl came up and did the same thing.
Yeah.
So I called my mum to pick me up because I wasn't feeling well. I went home, I vomited.
Awesome.
A week later, I got glandular fever.
Awesome. The kissing disease.
Oh, see, that's what kissing will do to
Oh
you.
my! You were abused, weren't you, Tyler? You were used as a piece of meat because you were such a great catch.
Well, maybe they knew it was your first kiss, and the couple of the girls said, "You know what? Let's be the first."
Yeah, let's
kiss
get in
or
there.
something."
What a roller coaster! Do you regret getting glandular fever, or you were still up for those 2 kisses, Tyler? You wouldn't change a thing.
Look, I wouldn't change it. It was a fun experience, but I don't know how they knew it would have been my first kiss unless someone told them.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I
You were
guess
telling
so.
everyone on the night,
Yeah, I
Tyler.
know. How's the kissing career been since then?
Yeah, slow.
Slow? Yeah, that's okay. Take it slow.
Stay on the line because Kate's going to give you the story about her first kiss.
I think it was a spin the bottle experience.
You're making it up.
No. The thing with me is, I don't know. This is going to get really heavy.
You do know.
No,
Everybody remembers their first kiss.
No, they don't.
Yes, they
because
do.
I've had some strange, messed up parallel childhood, and I'm not joking. Sometimes I don't know if things I did were what I did or what Sally did, and I'm not joking.
Well, actually, can I ask this question? Was on air? Was that your first kiss on air?
I don't know.
Different thing.
But what I know is that I went to a party when I was in Year 6 at Tamara Wolzak's house, and she was cool, way cooler than I could ever be.
Yeah.
And I think we played Spin the Bottle or something, and I'm sure I kissed a boy called David. Hi, David. But then I see photos of Sally in a hippie outfit kissing some boy called Troy while Pippa and Michael peered in the kitchen window of the Summer Bay house, and they were mortified that little Sally was having a kiss. And I don't know
which one's real.
I know which one's Sally and which one's Kate,
Yeah.
but I don't know which one happened when or whether my real life experience I've made up in my head to make myself feel better.
I wish I'd never asked.
Actually, that's
There's a can of worms here, isn't there?
It's an interesting question, though, that when they're asked in the script when it says that you need to kiss someone at that young age, I mean, obviously they'd have to get
permission.
Approval from your parents.
No, not in the old days. I mean, anyone could do anything. I know now when you work on a television show, you've actually even got to fill out insurance forms around like whether you get cold sores or whether you have to do certain things, and then they have someone on set monitoring all this stuff. Back then it was just like, I don't think anyone even asked me whether I'd had a first kiss or not. It was just like, hey, today we're going to talk about you getting boobs and wearing your first bra, and then maybe tomorrow we'll have your first kiss, and we're not going to ask whether you've had your first kiss or not. I guess we're just going to put you up there with someone you haven't met.
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Joe Rogan's podcast. I haven't been on it before, but I've got a pretty good idea. You go in there, you don't you smoke a couple of doobies?
I don't think you have to. I don't think it's prerequisite.
Requisite. It's quite popular, isn't it?
Oh, it's massive.
Amazing.
Absolutely massive.
It's probably the biggest podcast in the world.
Well, have you heard
isn't it?
Educate?
Yeah, right up there.
Yeah.
Inform Me Fitz is right behind it.
Mind your mouth, Ryan Fitzgerald.
Terrence Howard. Great actor. 2006 was nominated for Best Actor, an Oscar for Hustle and Flow. He's been in Prisoners. He was in that. He was also in 50 Cent's movie Get Rich or Die Trying. Mm-hmm. He's gone on Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan asked him about the first memory he can remember. He's going way back. What's your earliest memory? I don't think you can beat this because he's talking about being in his mother's womb. Have a listen to this.
And I was about maybe 6 months inside the womb. And I'm like, okay, don't forget I'm here. Okay. Don't forget. You go to sleep. You wake up again. Now something's moving in front of you. And you're like, oh, that's my friend. But I had a different name for it. I didn't know it was my hand. But I knew I had a title for it. Go back to sleep. Then ultimately you get ready to come out. I remember all of that.
You remember coming out?
Remember being compressed, and you want to panic, but you're flooded with like some serotonin and dopamine to where you feel relaxed. You go right back to sleep. And you remember being born. I remember being circumcised. I remember the whole nine.
That's amazing.
Awesome.
It's not amazing. It's a lie.
No, it's not, Kate. You can't
It's a
call
lie because we're talking about it now.
Well,
you don't
like
remember,
coming
and you
out,
don't remember
come on.
getting ready. Oh, I've got to get ready to leave
And
here.
then-
Like, what are you
Yes.
doing as a
Imagine that,
child?
coming out and then turning around and going, how are you, Heather?
Yeah, but also him registering in his mind, this is unbelievable. I'm in my mum's womb. Don't forget this. Don't forget this. Whatever you do, remember this for the rest of your life. What a load of
You're not
crap.
having thoughts like that.
Kirsten's given us a call. How far back can you go, Kirsten?
I don't remember the action of doing it. So my mum was painting a chair. She went out to go and say goodbye to Dad. I had come downstairs, apparently, picked up the spray can and sprayed myself in the face in the eyes with enamel spray paint. Now, I don't remember that and doing it, but what I do remember, and I was maybe just two, and I remember being at the hospital and being on the bed under one of those big lights.
Yep.
And the doctor trying to tickle me to make me laugh instead of screaming and crying.
Wow,
So-
okay.
Two's
So
good.
2 years of age.
Yeah,
2
I
years
think
of age.
Tickling is very old school.
Can we beat that? Vinny, what do you got?
My earliest memory is at 3 months.
Oh, that's rubbish,
And-
Vinny. Come on.
Finny.
No, I remember telling my dad about this memory, and it was the very first house we lived in.
Yeah.
And I remember telling him, I remember being like lying down, seeing my hands, and they were white, and seeing the rim of the bassinet. Obviously, I didn't know it was a bassinet at the time. And he said to me, absolutely not, because you were only 3 months old, and he had put socks on my hands to stop me chewing my hands.
Oh, so that's what you remember the white has, was the socks on your hands, Finny.
I remember looking at the socks on my hands and the rim of the bassinet.
Vinny, that's extraordinary. And do you still have that image in your brain today?
I still have that image in my brain today. Yes.
But you can't remember what you did last weekend. That's the weird thing about memories.
Pretty amazing.
Exactly right.
Do you know what I did yesterday?
Go on.
Took the dog, went for a drive, and I walked around the street that I grew up in, Kate.
Another big day.
And oh my gosh, like the memories flooding back
What
of
did you
certain
think?
houses and people that were on the street. It was freaking me out. There was even to the point, a deja vu moment, where out of nowhere, Beastie was walking past a house and this huge dog just jumped at the fence and just scared both of us.
Yeah.
And it just took me straight back to a moment when I was a kid where there was a huge dog in that same house.
This isn't the house that got robbed 3 times in a month, is it?
Yes, it was.
Was it getting robbed when you went back there?
Well,
Is that still
Were you
alive?
robbing the
actually
house?
going through the house.
Still trying to get some of me footy cards
Yeah,
back.
some things don't change.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
What did you see on ACA last night, mate?
They were due. You know what? Because the stories have been quite serious lately. A lot of dodgies, a lot of shonks.
Dodgy.
They were due for a humorous one at some stage, Kate. Tonight.
It's a novelty story.
Do you know? It is quite humorous when Alison Langdon comes off the back of the promo laughing.
Oh, okay.
Have a listen to this.
Caught with his pants down.
It's a turf war.
He's got no shame. He's just a shameless pig.
The mystery dumper with a dirty habit.
Your curb is a
My curb.
toilet.
Yes.
The dack dropper who keeps calling at Pat's place.
He's come at least 15 times.
Who is the poo bandit?
Literally sticks.
We'll have that story tomorrow. That's our program. I'm Ali Langdon. Thanks for your company.
The fact they put a fart sound effect in the promo.
I thought that was you, Jess. Was that a little fart?
That was in the promo.
Just a little pop-off in the promo.
Well,
How
who's
can
our voice?
Poor Ali.
Who is our voiceover man, Tommy? Who does the?
Oh,
he's
Phil.
Phil.
Yeah, he's been in the studio before.
Well, Phil gives this. He gets the script. He does the voiceover, and unfortunately had to create the sound effect as well.
No, he did not, surely.
Please move microphone below the waist.
He's come 15 times and he's the poo band.
Who writes that? Like, is there someone considered a journalist at Channel 9?
Well, you'd put your hand up for that one. That's a bit of fun, isn't it? Please let me do the
Please let
poo.
me do the poo one. I will do the poo one. No, you do the poo.
And even, you know what? Even Alison, I think to stay sane with a current affair, sometimes you need a couple of poo bandits here and there, don't you? Throughout the year.
You need to sprinkle in the poo band.
You do. If you don't get a poo bandit once every 6 months, you're out. I quit.
I'm sick of welfare cheats. Love rats. We need more poo bandits on the show.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
This is a dating disaster, okay? This guy, during COVID, he was a little bit bored. So he opened up a, not fit for work Twitter account.
Sure.
And he just thought, look, this is harmless. Everybody's looking for entertainment in all of these interesting places. I'm going to open up an account. And he was added to this group chat. So there's about a dozen people.
Fun.
Great.
I didn't think the story was going to go here, but I've just read he said that all they would do, the group chat, was basically just a place where we all sent nudes back and forth and asked each other for opinions, etc. It was pretty fun, to be honest, and I can't lie, having a basically anonymous group of people praising your body daily is pretty nice.
So are you saying no heads included?
No.
You just you just take photos of your body.
Yeah, very bad idea.
And then send it through and go, hey, how you ranking this morning?
Yeah, it was that kind of thing.
Rate my rig.
So they didn't know each other, but then they kind of really knew each other.
Yeah.
Anyway, he started chatting. One of the girls on the group her name was Bella, and he took a shining to her.
Okay.
And so out of the 12, he would chat to her more
So
regularly.
he'd seen Bella in the nude?
Well, I would
Photos
imagine so. As far as photos go, then
it's really graphic.
Yes. Anyway, so they'd that back and forth. Not a lot of contact during COVID. This kind of went on for 2 years.
Oh my God.
And he was saying that he felt as though he fell in love with this person.
It's quite cute. Hasn't even seen her face.
Yeah, exactly. It's really, really cute. Anyway, what happens is it all starts to come together when his dad decides to plan a family holiday, and the family holidays to like Niagara Falls, right? This is stories out of the US, and he says to this Bella or this person, "I'm not going to have a lot of service. I'm going to be going away
you won't get to see it
for the
a while."
weekend." And Bella says, "Oh my goodness, snap! I'm going away for the weekend, and I don't think my family has said that there's not going to be a lot of service either." They go away, right? And over the course of the weekend, from things that they are telling each other about the weekend, he realises that the person he's been sending photos back and forth to is his sister who he's on holidays with. Does that make... You're not listening.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, no,
he's been for 2 years plus, he's been looking at nudes of his sister.
Yeah.
But what? So no one. They're all anonymous. No one knows who each other is. But he falls in love with an anonymous person, and it's his sister.
Well, COVID. It's COVID, and then finally you can get back together. They get back together as a family. I mean, look, I think. Gosh. And you correct me if I'm wrong.
You'd know
if
what
I
your brothers
saw
look
a
like.
nude photo of anyone in my family, I'd go, "Well, that's Dad."
Yeah.
That's Heather.
I agree with you.
You don't need to say her name, mate.
You remember family members. You do.
Don't you reckon? Don't you think that this bloke would know Bella, his sister, even if it wasn't the name, even if her name was Amanda?
If you accidentally received a photo, Fitzy, of your sister Holly and you didn't know where it came from, you would look at that and go, "Oh yeah, it's the old sis. She's grown up a bit."
I would have a pretty good idea.
Really?
And my mum and your mum, I'd have a pretty good idea as well.
That'd be clear. That would be... Oh, Christine, not again.
You give me a line-up and I'll pick Christine straight away.
Fitz in Whipper with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great shows like this, download the Nova Player via the App Store or Google Play.
The Nova Player.